coverage of the Kern High Network Game of the Week between the Golden Valley High School Bulldogs and the Miramonte Lions. On the camera tonight is Nick Courtwright, and we have Richard, a student here in the Kern High School District, that is helping us out tonight to make sure that things run smoothly. I'm running solo tonight, but that is okay. It is April 1st, but there is no fooling around. This is spring football that we have right now, and we are excited. A crazy, crazy year of shutting down, distance learning, all of the anxiety that has come up, but what a sigh of relief when these seniors, the class of 2021, get to have a senior season in a shortened spring football season. The Kern High School District is divvied up. It's 18 high schools into 3 different leagues, and right now we have the Golden Valley High School Bulldogs getting ready to take on the Miramonte Lions, as was mentioned earlier. We got about 4 minutes and 45 seconds before the game kicks off. Little bit different that we're going to see. Different protocols. If you notice, all of the refs are masked. A little bit different, but hey, we do have football. And if you also notice, there usually is this pack of captains that walk out to the center of the field before the game gets started. That is now limited to just 1 per team that walk out. And as you see right here, you got big number 74, Dylan Corbell of the Miramonte Lions, and number 22, Isaiah Coronado, the star running back of the Bulldogs, coming out. And what we see right here is the PA announcer, Robert Castro, the community counselor, making some announcements as the game gets started. We are live on the Kern High Network, kernhighnetwork.com or goldenvalley.kernhigh.org. Either way, you can watch the game. And as the screen suggests, highlights and replays will be on Twitter at KHSD Athletics. You can also go to each school's respective Twitter handle. You got Miramonte KHSD and you got GV Bulldogs for each school to take a look at what they're looking at. Game is about ready to get going in about 3 minutes. Captains go on there, and we will see right here. And it looks like the Bulldogs have deferred over to the Miramonte Lions, who are set, and we will see what goes over there. It looks like Miramonte is going to defend. Actually, it looks like Golden Valley is going to get the ball, and they're going to receive at the south end of Bulldog Stadium, and Miramonte is going to kick off. As the PA announcer announced, Miramonte is coming off a big-time victory over the Kern Valley Bronx, and Golden Valley had a very tight, old-school, gritty, tough game against the Foothill Trojans, in which they were victorious 6-0. The head coach of Miramonte is Christian Johnson, and he brings a level of energy and toughness to the Miramonte Lions that for a while was actually missing. And so he is passionate, he's enthusiastic, he's got a weight room going, and the Miramonte Lions program looked to be moving in the right direction. We're going to take a pause for a second and discuss the Bulldogs when we get back, but we are going to honor the nation's flag with the playing of the national anthem. And that was the playing of our national anthem. The game is about underway, just a minute away from the kickoff, where the Bulldogs Golden Valley will receive the kickoff for the first half. That means Miramonte will get it in the second half. But the Bulldogs are on the upward trend. James Kane is the head coach, and he's entering his second year. Last year, the Bulldogs were 1-9, but we're in a number of close games against the likes of East High, West High, and even Foothill. We're seeing a lot of different positive momentum going for the Bulldogs. Won last week in an old-school, gritty, tough game where it was a lot of defense, a lot of running the ball. You're going to see a heavy dose of Isaiah Coronado, who had 15 rushes for 108 yards, but you also have Markel Bruley at quarterback, who has played a number of times there as well. As we look back deep for the Bulldogs, is going to be Marquise Burns, number 6, and number 14, Anthony Puentes. And we're going to get going underway. Looks like it's number 5, Eddie Camarena, is going to be on the kick. He looks like he's setting up for a potential pooch kick. And he does exactly that, and the ball goes up, and it's caught by number 24, and that is Hector Bermudez, or actually number 24 is Eric Ramirez. He's able to get some yardage, but that puts the Bulldogs on the 48. Good field position to get started. See how Coach Kane does when he comes out. The Bulldogs ran veer. They showed last week to fit the personnel that they have, a little veer option that goes in there. See a heavy dose of that. The Miramonte Lions are going to come out in a 3-3 or they can call it a 5-3 or a 3-5, however they want to call their defense, but they're going to have an odd front, which means they have a nose guard over the ball, and they do have some size. Big old number 99, Anthony Romero, definitely has some size right there. Bulldogs come out, 48, first down. Markel Bruley under center for the Bulldogs. And we are getting started. First down, Bulldogs. And the ball is handed off to Coronado, who, this is Coronado's style, is going to get you about 3 or 4 yards a pop. But in that veer, that is pretty good. Take the ball down the field slowly but steady. If I have a running style for Isaiah Coronado, it's more the Frank Gore style, where he's always moving forward, low center of gravity. He's going to be moving on there, but always in the veer. Got to make sure that the quarterbacks are carrying out their fakes the right way, doing all that too as well, but a nice little short gain to start off. It's always good to run your base play to see what the defense is going to do and how they counteract, and you're going to see that odd front, big 99 over the center. It actually kind of looks like they may be a little bit more even, but running the veer, and there goes Coronado right up the middle again, and he gashes for about a 10-yard gain and a Bulldog first down, and it's first down on the 38-yard line going in, and the Bulldogs are moving early, and they look to be under control. Last week, week 1 jitters were happening. Looks like both teams want to try to get up there. A lot of running on both sides of the ball from Miramonte and from Golden Valley. I mean, Sebastian Marbaugh, the quarterback for Miramonte, threw the ball 4 times, and Markel Bruley only threw the ball 5 times. So both teams want to run the ball, get physical early. A little bit of motion goes on there. Markel Bruley with the keep on that veer option right there, carried out the fake, and it's enough for another Bulldog first down, and they are moving the ball. That veer option, you got to stay disciplined. And in this shortened season with not a lot of practices, preparing for a veer option team, you got to play sound football where you do your job. I know that's a phrase that's very cliche, but people have to do their job. Someone's got to be on the quarterback. Someone's got to be on the running back, especially when you're running that option. But nonetheless, the Bulldogs are finding something right there, and they hope they can run the ball smoothly and effectively. Again, they come out in this veer look, 2 wings. Markel Bruley under center. A little bit of motion right here as well. Again, handed off to Isaiah Coronado, and he's just going north and south. And again, another 3, 4, maybe even 5-yard gain, and brings up a second down. Watching the game last week, the mesh point, that's when the quarterback does that little handoff to the running back, is much cleaner than it was last week. Some fumbles, first game jitters. Kids haven't practiced in more than a year, so getting out here, only having 2 weeks practice before week 1, reopening, ready to go. Bulldogs look a lot smoother and cleaner. You can tell this is a point of priority for practice for those Bulldogs. Again, starting at about 2nd and 5 maybe call it 2nd and 6, a little bit of motion. There goes Bruley again. He's going to keep it this time all the way, not looking to pitch. Going to get another 2 or 3 yard gain, and it's going to bring up 3rd and very, very manageable on there too as well. It should bring note if you're taking a look at Joseph Elroy, number 56, and number 99, Tommy Struggs, are pushing their blocker all the way down the field. It's nice seeing the big boys getting down the field and driving through and finishing the play and going till that whistle blows. But nonetheless, it's 3rd, very manageable. We'll call it 3rd and 3, and it's on the, we'll call it the 17-yard line right here, 17 and a half. Markel Bruley under center. Bulldogs very much in control. Again, another short motion. We got a little toss that's going to be right here, and that looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. That's Curtis Johnson taking that sweep. And just like that, Bulldogs have another first down. I will bring this up. Last week, the Bulldogs got to the red zone a few times and were unable to capitalize. We'll see if this is different right now. Similar story last week. I know Coach Kane was talking about making sure we finish, making sure we put points on the board and don't leave them on there. Coach Kane feels like the game could have been much different, much higher score in favor of the Bulldogs, but let's see if they have practiced and get some of those discipline. Again, coming out, looks like we got unbalanced with a tight end, 2 guys in motion, and they're going to call that every time. One thing that drives the coach crazy is when you have guys that aren't focusing on their job, both going in motion. It's these silly little penalties. They call it staying ahead of the chains. You don't want to stay behind the chains. And so right now it's going to be 1st and 15. And I know, especially when the momentum's going in your way, you don't want to stall. Remember, points on the board, especially when you're getting into that red zone area. However, it's going to be, should be 1st and 15. It looks like the marker is a little bit off on the other side. They may get it checked on there, but the refs are putting 1. The refs pointing over there to make sure it's 1. Coming again in this kind of double tight look, it's looking right here. Coach Kane, a little bit different philosophy than what he had last year where he was trying to do spread in some of these bubble screens. But now he's coming double tight with a veer look. Go a little bit of motion right here. Again, going back to that toss sweep and a little razzle-dazzle to Santos Castillo, who had a very, very big touchdown reception last week, so much so that his touchdown was the difference in the game for the Bulldogs, and it did it with 3 minutes and 53 seconds left on the clock. Santos can bring stuff to the table, and just like that, it's 2nd and 10. Little 5-yard pickup, get back to the original line of scrimmage, and the Bulldogs are hoping to capitalize on this. Now, we are going to see this all throughout Kern County. What does special teams look like? You only have 2 weeks to get ready. What does that look like? Is there going to be more 4-down territory? We don't know. Nonetheless, there's going to be a timeout. Miramonte is calling that right off the bat. Miramonte probably didn't see a whole lot on the tape, a lot of tight ends and double tight. And so it looks like Joe Cooper, who is the longtime defensive coordinator and coach at Miramonte, is going to do that. I'd like to thank the sponsors of the Kern High Network. We have Valley Strong Credit Union, Motor City, longtime supporters of the Kern High Network. I want to give a shout out to each school's respective administration. The newly appointed Roman Aguilar is the principal at Miramonte, along with Zach McNitch and Leah Hatton, the assistant principals. And then at Golden Valley, we have Paul Hellman as the esteemed principal, who's done a great job throughout the years leading Golden Valley's campus. Jerry Antoine, the AP of Instruction, and some knucklehead named Kyle Wiley as the assistant principal of administration running that. I promise to the Miramonte fans tonight I'll do the best I can not to have the Golden Valley bias, but it may sneak in there, so please forgive me. But I will try to stay neutral as we go through this game. A lot of great people on both campuses at Miramonte and Golden Valley High School. Here we are, 2nd down and 10 coming off the timeout. Bruley on the veer, gives it straight up, dive. Again, you like to see maybe a 2-yard gain or so to Isaiah Coronado is going to be the workhorse. A little bit shorter in stature, but let me tell you this, is Mr. Coronado is extremely tough and can run right through that 7-10. It looks like 7-10 left to go in the first quarter, and it looks like there is going to be a holding call that is going to negate the 2-yard gain and move it back about 10 yards. Again, we talked about the struggles last week in week 1 of getting into the red zone and not being able to capitalize on those points. And it looks like it's a little bit of a seesaw for the Bulldogs as they are moved back to the 20, and it looks like it's going to be about 2nd and 20. We could call it maybe 2nd and 18, but nonetheless, the Bulldogs are way behind the chains, not the area where they necessarily want to be right now. Let's see what type of play call Coach Kane is going to take. Again, he's coming out in this double tight set with two wings, a little bit of motion, little razzle-dazzle, and it is tossed off to number 10, and that is Jordan Rodriguez. Takes the sweep around, gets a few more yards, but still going to be 3rd and long, and it's not where the Bulldogs want to have. So it's curious to see, are we in 4-down territory? Is Coach Kane thinking it's going to take us 2 plays to get over there? How are they going to capitalize? And these teams that love to run the rock, are they going to put the ball in the air, and what does that look like? We have 6 minutes left to go in this first quarter opening drive. Probably got about 3rd and 14. The official clock says 3rd and 15. We are seeing a more traditional set, still 2 wings, but 2 wide receivers spread out. Bruley sets his feet, delivers across the middle to Anthony Puentes, but the ball is broken up. Bruley looked good getting his feet set, rolling out to the left. Much better ball. Looks like he's settled than he was from the first week, getting some of those jitters out. It is 4th down. And it looks like Coach Kane has no reservations about it. He is going for it. Again, when you are on a shortened season, haven't been with your team, only have 2 weeks to prepare, sometimes those things like special teams that are oh so vital, so important that you do in spring and in summer gets negated because you're trying to organize and get all the other things ready to go for a season. So with that, 4th and long, Bruley goes under center, does a little 3-step drop, throws a little bit of fade, and it goes up to number 12, and it is a Bulldog touchdown! And just like that, we can see the Bulldogs are definitely on the board right there, and coming down with it, Nicholas Abbott comes with the touchdown from Markel Bruley with a nice touchdown, nice touch pass, 3-step drop, and it is a Bulldog touchdown. They are on the board.
Touchdown, ball on the 3-yard line.
And make sure you follow us on Twitter. You can see Markel Bruley's pretty pass to Nicholas Abbott for the touchdown.
That was a touchdown, going for the extra point.
Number 12, now it looks like they're going to go for 2 points, but Markel Bruley's nice TD pass to Nicholas Abbott. And Golden Valley High School takes a timeout. .5:43 left to go in the first quarter, but Markel Bruley with a nice, pretty pass. Fade, 3-step drop, and fade to them. Make sure you capture all highlights and replays. I'm going to wait till this PAT goes in or the point is turned away from the Bulldogs before I put the live feed that goes out there. But I am going to put 6 points on the board. Kind of doing it all tonight. A little bit of production, a little bit of announcing, a little bit of social media, but it's okay. We can make it work for these kids. 5:43 left to go. Miramonte, Nicholas Abbott with a nice catch. Markel Bruley with a nice pass. And going for 2, getting in a jumbo heavy section. Going to be play action. And just like that, Bruley delivers it to Richard Saucedo for the 2 points. And like that, the Bulldogs are up 8-0 with 5:43 left to go in the first quarter.
Bulldogs 8, Lions 0. We'd like to congratulate our JV Bulldogs for a win over Shafter, 32-18.
And just announced over there, the JV Bulldogs. Big victory over Shafter. It's nice to hear. And you should be able to log on to Twitter right now. See our live feed that went on there. But the Kern Network does a great job all this year. A majority of games are going to be captured. So make sure that you guys tune in to the Kern High Network for all things. 8-0 Golden Valley lead. Definitely something they want to have on here. Markel Bruley, touchdown strike to Nicholas Abbott. And let me remind everyone, Nicholas Abbott, I'm going to call this super sophomore. Just a sophomore spread out. Going to give a whole nother option to the running attack that the Bulldogs have. And watch out, the Golden Valley Bulldogs are on the up and up, led by head coach James Kane, who has transformed the program, brought in a weight room, discipline. New unis this year with the Bulldog reflected on them. Has Demas Riza coaching the O&D line. Don Turner, class of 78, West High Viking Valley champion. Don Turner leading the DBs and the wide receivers. Bobby Hinzo, Golden Valley alum and Golden Valley great at the QB position, helping out with the QBs and linebackers. Dustin Wilkins, who is a linebacker and defensive coordinator, and he played at Centennial helping out. Isaiah Coronado with the maybe accidental onside kick. It looked like he was trying to pooch it right there, kind of like Miramonte did. But nonetheless, it lands right back into Miramonte's hands. And it's going to be on the 48, very, very similar. Now, if we look, 5:40, there was a long 7-minute drive about for the Golden Valley Bulldogs. Let's see how Miramonte is going to respond. Head coach Christian Johnson with his coaching staff, Joe Cooper, Matt Akers, Cameron Shelton, Jeff Skidmore, Theo Gurgen, Skylar Medeiros, Eric Carroll, and Andrew Letourneau. And we see right off the bat, coming out, number 2, Sebastian Marbaugh is under center. A little bit of an I formation. And a little flea flicker trickeration, but the Bulldogs snuffed that out right away. That is number 28 on the big play to stop all that. Angel Arias with the big snuff out and big time play to put an end and a stop to that. So what a play, trying to run a trick play to get back into it, but Angel Arias with a big time play to put an end to Miramonte's efforts to get back into the game. And the ball is handed off. That is going to be number 8. Jose Pelayo takes the fly sweep all the way around and kind of gets close to the original line of scrimmage. Brings up second down and about 11 for the Lions. Should be third down. I think the refs have it messed up a little bit. They actually shift to a spread right here. 2-by-2. The lefty, Marbaugh. Got to love the lefty quarterback. Feeling a little bit of pressure. Flings it all the way out to number 3, Jose Galindo. There is a flag on the field. It looks like it's going to be 4th and short, but we're going to wait to see what the call is. This is going to be back. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at KHSD Athletics. There are live replays on there where you can take a look. Some of the big plays that have happened thus far, including a touchdown and a sack. And it looks like it's going to be a personal foul on the Bulldogs defense, giving them 15 yards. And as the refs try to get this figured out where they're going, and it's going to go all the way to the Bulldog 29-yard line. Personal foul right there. Getting these early season jitters out there, and especially when you don't have an off season or a very, very limited off season the way both of these teams have had, makes it very, very difficult. But nonetheless, still getting it figured out. Got to move the chains. As social distancing has kind of limited the amount of support staff personnel, last-minute things. When's the last time we've ever had a game over spring break? And here we are Thursday before Good Friday and Easter Sunday. Miramonte gets right back again, handing the ball off to number 8, Pelayo, on the fly sweep. A flag gets out there. Sometimes with those fly sweeps that come out, it's usually a holding call, but we want to see what this looks like. Wonder if it could be the case where they're going to look at where it's at. But nonetheless, it is going to be holding on the Miramonte Lions. It's going to push it back. It's just the nature of football. Teams that run the fly sweep always take that chance. It's always good to teach that perimeter blocking. Make sure the hands are constantly moving and not latched on. And that's where a lot of the holding, especially they see the jerseys and stuff like that. Now, they could be holding every time in the trenches. You just never see it because it's in the trenches in between the tackles. But when you get on that sweep area, you definitely see the jerseys getting grabbed and you see the extensions. But nonetheless, Miramonte comes out again. They're going to come out in a little bit of an I formation, shifting it back out. Both teams are showing little wrinkles that they may not have shown in the first game of the season. Definitely looks like it's going to be delay a game, especially when it comes from the back judge. And he's going to lead the countdown. Again, these early season jitters, but there's got to come a point where we can't say it's early season anymore because there's only 5 games in a season and we're already on week 2. So it's going to push Miramonte back behind the lines. It's going to be about 1st and 17, long distance. A little bit of a shift, kind of 2-by-2. Marbaugh again on the design quarterback draw. Definitely a tough lefty. The ball does come loose, but it is going to be whistled down. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 11 for the Miramonte Lions. One of the strong suits last week for Golden Valley was their physical play up front defensively. They were led by a host of Bulldogs. I mentioned them earlier. You had the likes of Tommy Struggs, Joseph Elroy, Daniel Martinez, a number of people up front that were causing a lot of havoc. And Angel Arias does a great job on the edge. As we've seen from high school, college, and the NFL, sometimes people on the edge aren't the big hulking guys, just the guys that get to the ball quicker than the next guy. Miramonte again coming out in the I formation, going to hand it off to their horse, their workload that they have right here, and that is the guy that ran crazy last week, number 20, Abe Casillas. Kind of his first looks. He had 15 rushes last week for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns. He actually took the very first kickoff to the house for 65 yards to give all of the momentum to the Miramonte Lions. But nonetheless, they want to give a healthy dose of Abe Casillas if they can. Miramonte is responding well. They are moving the ball. Looks to be 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. And again, it is going to be another Miramonte timeout. I want to take this time to give a shout out to all the people that are working here. I have Nick behind the camera and does a great job. I also have Richard, a Kern High School District student interested in video production, does a great job too as well. Give a shout out to Valerie Black, who is our activities director. She was able to assemble, and if you go down, get our cheerleaders here for a second, was able to assemble a cheerleading squad so that we can have it this year. So thankful for the Kern High School District, Dr. Brian Schaefer, Dr. Brenda Lewis, Dr. Dean McGee, Dr. Mike Zolfa, the newly appointed Will Sandoval, for allowing us to even have a season in the Kern High School District. So proud of them. And as we get back to the Friday Night Lights, it's just a joy to be here tonight, calling a game, watching a game, being part of something great that the Kern High School District has to offer. 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, you got Marbaugh in the gun. going in a kind of, looks to be 3 receivers. You do have a tight end on there. The lefty Marbaugh steps up into the pocket, met by Daniel Martinez with a big-time sack. And like that, the Bulldogs defense continues to display its dominance up front, putting all kinds of pressure on Marbaugh. There is a penalty flag on there. Going to look to see what that is. Penalty appears to be holding against Miramonte. It's obviously going to be declined because of the big play by big number 50, Daniel Martinez, leading the way. Make sure you guys are following us, KHSD Athletics, for all the highlights and replays. Appears that Miramonte is going to be going for it. These 4th and longs. Offense needs to, the defense, Golden Valley needs to know where the first down marker is. Sometimes in high school football, and even, I will say this, even in the NFL, sometimes first downs occur because you don't know where the first down markers are at. Looks like Miramonte, 30 seconds left to go. There is another flag from the back judge. Could be delay a game. Miramonte's already used two of their 3 timeouts in the half. Backs them up even further. Again, early mistakes and penalties. 33 seconds left to go in the first quarter. It appears that there is going to be a punt team that's coming on, led by Anthony Gomez. Number 9 appears to be the punter. But again, in a shortened season, you want to make sure people are identified. Golden Valley a little uncertain about this. Not the depth you normally see. And it is going to be that rugby-style kick, and that's where you yell, Peter, 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 get away from it. It appears it's going to go out of bounds. That's a 22 is where they're going to mark down. Actually, it looks like it's the 23 and a half maybe where they're going to mark it down. 27 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Golden Valley on the board, 8-0. 20-yard touchdown strike from Markel Bruley to Nicholas Abbott. Put the Bulldogs on the board, and then a nice little play action from Markel Bruley to Richard Saucedo, give the 2-point conversion. The Bulldogs are up 8-0. Both teams have moved the ball okay. Golden Valley took up a majority of the first quarter, but nonetheless, Miramonte has come back out. Both teams have changed things up a little bit. What they saw in week 1. Bruley back under center, a little bit of emotion. A little underneath to Anthony Puentes. He's a little jitterbug. Number 14 gets 1 yard, snuffed it out. Last week, big-time play. Anthony Puentes took it about 42 yards on a similar play like that. That little counter play underneath. It's been a staple. Puentes did a lot of that last year. And the clock is going to run down, and we are going to start the second quarter. And after 1 quarter, it is Golden Valley 8, Miramonte 0. We're going to keep it here. Again, want to give a shout out to all the people that are working hard behind the scenes. Got to give a special shout out. Have to say this to Robert Haskell, the athletic director at Golden Valley High School. Also give a special shout out to Josue Valenzuela, athletic director at Miramonte. I separated them from the original administration because the life of an athletic director during this COVID distance learning world we live in has been insane, and especially as the restrictions have been lifted throughout California and different things, as sports have been allowed to return. Athletic directors' lives have been a little crazy, a little hectic, and we have to give a shout out to these two gentlemen that have done a great job organizing, coordinating, meeting over Zoom with coaches, going over all these things, making sure that everything is ready to go so that we can have seasons. At one point, we could have every single sport that the Kern High School District has to offer operating all together. And so now we're just fortunate for those two guys' efforts at both of their respective schools. So hats off to Robert Haskell, Jose Valenzuela as we start the second quarter. We change camera guys up. Richard's going to get a shot now as he looked right here. Isaiah Coronado with a very short gain. He's trying to get back up, but once your knee touches the ground in high school, once the knee touches the ground in high school, you are down. There is a flag on the side. Don't know what that flag is for, but we will take a look going forward. It could be a sideline warning. Wait to see what this is. Looks like it's going to be second down, 2nd and 9. They're calling it 3rd and 9. But it's hard for me to imagine. I've only seen a play go through. Maybe there was a play from last quarter, but I don't remember. So, hey, getting the jitters out right now. It is going to be 3rd and 9, Bruley under center. He's going to fake the sweep. He was looking deep, and there is a flag that is being thrown. It appears it could have been face mask. Don't know who it is. So we're going to see what it is. And the official is going to call face mask on Miramonte. And that could be an automatic first down. At least they're going to get that with the yardage. It's going to be 15. And that is a first down. Miramonte did a great job defensively holding the ball, containing, but they had their hands in the wrong place. And as a result, what we see right here is they're behind just a little bit going on there. So new life for the Bulldogs. See if they're able to capitalize on this crucial penalty. Bruley coming back out again. This time he's got 3 receivers wide, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Running the option again. There goes Bruley, and he's got a little bit of room, and he picks up another big gain. Looks like after 12 yards, they're trying to blow the whistle, and they do it again and got a nice little push at the very end. Could add some more yardage. Wonder if this is going to be another costly mistake, costly penalty, where it goes on there. Let's see where the official goes with this, but it looked like there was a little bit of extracurricular after the whistle was blowing. Does this tack on another 15 yards for Miramonte? Is this dead ball or not? We'll wait and see. After the play, unsportsmanlike is called on Miramonte for an extra little push. Much to the chagrin of Coach Christian Johnson, who I believe has called another timeout. And he is not happy, and the ball is being moved down. Golden Valley doing a great job moving. That's where you get with the option right there, is they were all sucked in the middle. Bruley pulled that out nicely. The mesh is so much cleaner this week than it was last week. So now there's going to be an explanation that's going to go all the way over here. Christian Johnson is definitely not happy with this at all. And they can't blame a coach when you have 30 yards of penalties. This drive right here definitely does not help the situation. Bulldogs have the momentum going right now. It looks like Miramonte could have used their last timeout. cleaning up some of these things. It's tough when you come off a week 1 victory where it was kind of undecided. It was just a blowout. Kern Valley scored some points late, but it was never in doubt that Miramonte maybe had the momentum, and it may not be aligning with what they thought this week. Golden Valley has come out, done some good things offensively, moving the ball, some costly penalties that we have right here. Coach Johnson not on frame, and we're going to leave it right here. But Coach Johnson is definitely having an extended conversation with the officials. Definitely upset maybe with some of the calls, maybe allowing some things to go on here. But he's having a very animated call with them, talking with them. I'd like to give a shout out to Valley Strong Credit Union. Used to be Kern Schools, but now it's Valley Strong. Still weird to say that, but they have been a big-time sponsor. You ever get a KHSD Achieve magazine, their logo and their advertisement is on the back cover of that. I'd like to thank Motor City, longtime sponsor of the Kern High Network. I want to give a shout-out to Stan Green, who is the Director of School Support Services. He's the one that has made this whole operation go. Stan had a vision of a number of things, and having a live stream network was definitely one of those things. So hats off to Stan Green for all of your efforts, what you do. First down Bulldogs now on the 34-yard line. A little movement, a little early. Looks like it's big number 55, Jaquan Welch. Went a little too early right here. Going to put 1st and 15 for the Bulldogs. Golden Valley has had a pretty solid, maybe 2 penalties, 3 penalties that they've had thus far, but overall pretty clean game for the Bulldogs. So here we go, 1st and 15. No motion this time, straight handoff, kind of a blast, straight up play to number 22, Isaiah Coronado, but you got to give your hats off. I'm going to say this. He may fly under the radar because he's at Miramonte, but Abe Casillas, I'm going to tell you, both sides of the ball, extremely tough. And those are the type of players every team could use. It doesn't matter if you're at Liberty High School or at Miramonte High School. When you got a kid like Abe Casillas who runs the rock and plays defense the way he does, always nice to have. 2nd and 13. Markel Bruley under center for the Bulldogs. A little bit of motion. And again, it's that option, and it looks like Bruley tried to keep it. Actually, I don't think it was Bruley that had it. It's actually Coronado that kept the ball right there. And it's going to be 3rd and 11. And again, we're looking at the second quarter, 9:50 left to go. What will Coach Kane do? When does it become 4-down territory? Or when do we use our punting? We're going to see, could be the difference tonight is special teams. Which team is practicing? Coach Kane is going to call his second timeout. Beautiful night tonight. We're used to football games being extremely hot or extremely cold. It's weird just to have a very pleasant night in spring, in March, saying that April Fool's Day. I would love to say that the Dodgers won, but they didn't. They lost a close one to the Rockies. For all you baseball fans out there, make sure you hop on, follow us, KHSD Athletics. KHSD Athletics on Twitter is where all of the highlights are going to be at. Right now, Shafter's up big over Kern Valley Bronx, 14-0. So be curious to see how this has. I already have a few of the big highlights from touchdown pass to big sacks that we have on here so far. So definitely a big game. See how the Bulldogs respond here at 3rd and 11. Bruley back under center. Coronado behind him. And it's going to be straight keep by Bruley. He's able to sneak up and get some more yards, and he's keeping it moving. I wouldn't be surprised here if you saw Coach Kane go for it on 4th down. very, very manageable compared to what it was. It's going to be about 4th and 5, maybe 4th and 4, you want to call it that. But very, very manageable for Coach Kane and this Golden Valley offense. 8-0. Coach Kane wants to change what happened last week, and when he gets into these red zone-ish, I know it's outside the 20, but close enough, he wants to put points on the board. You have Nicholas Abbott, who's already scored a touchdown right here going deep. Let's see if they go back to the well on that. Send Puentes in motion right now to see if they get the Lions offsides. Audible is called at the line of scrimmage. You see the wristband they have on there. Looks like the delay of game is coming on there again. Back judge has called that. I would say if I'm Miramonte and Golden Valley, both of their tempos need to be picked up because that back judge is calling that pretty consistently. So you need to have what I would always say, and I know it's tough to look at this, and hindsight provides all the clarity in the world, but it's always nice to have a coach or someone watching that back judge to see his time. Usually he'll start chopping the closer he gets to blowing the whistle. So always being aware of the clock and all that. But nonetheless, 4th and about 9. And there goes Bruley dropping back, sets his feet, finding his target, Abbott again. Number 12 doesn't turn, and I think it's going to be PI because he didn't turn and look for the ball. And Bruley, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, looks more confident this week than he did last week. Got that out of there. I'm telling you, the Bulldog offense looks far more polished, more calm, relaxed, getting the jitters out, getting out, being more confident in what they do. Refs are going to huddle up, but it looked like from PI, from our vantage point. And we're going to wait to see what that call is. Discussions by the officials at about the 39-yard line, 38-yard line. Still discussing. And they are going to blow it down. Interesting call by the white hat. You had 2 officials on the far side each throw a flag indicating PI. And now the discussion comes and it's taken off. And so it's going to be a turnover on downs. Interesting call. I don't know if I've ever seen 2 officials throw a flag and then it get waved off. But we are in a COVID-induced football season, so stranger things have happened, I guess. Trying to work on being nice in 2021 because 2020 let me down. But you got a whole booth of journalists and things like that shaking our heads like, what was that call? But nonetheless, Miramonte has it. Gives it to their man, Abe Casillas, who, ladies and gentlemen, I could tell you this, he is a tough runner as it comes. He runs around you, he runs through you, but he runs for a 15-yard gain right there. Tough young man. 8:21 left to go in the second quarter. I got to tell you what, I love these high school football games. We got 2 teams committed to the run the way that Miramonte Golden Valley are doing that. They're making it known. The clock should be running. There it goes. And it's counting down. Again, it's Casillas. Oh, it's going to be actually number 15, Damian Cruz. Well, I'm going to tell you, these Miramonte Lions, maybe it's energy from their coach. He's got a lot of energy, a lot of toughness, a lot of passion. And I will tell you, over the last few years, Miramonte has started to have that type of emotion and behavior from their coach, Christian Johnson, who is a prodigy of Coach Manning over at Ridgeview High School. And so he brings this passion and intensity. Nonetheless, consecutive first downs from Miramonte as they try to get back into this game. And if I'm them, trying to tie this up, and again, giving it to Abe Casillas, who just is always moving forward. One thing I could say about both Miramonte and Golden Valley, they're always moving forward. Always falling forward, and there's a toughness that both teams are coming with. Again, shout out to all of those people that have come to help make this game operate. I always like to give a shout out to the deans. Pablo Reyes has done a great job with his security team to make sure that safety protocols of fans are followed. Everyone's wearing their mask, doing their part. Great thing. A little bit of motion now. Handing off to number 8, and a big-time play stepping up from the secondary. But number 8, that's Anthony. That's actually Jose Pelayo. Again, he's the jet sweep guy.
Number 9, Larry Allen on the spot.
Larry Allen coming back. Larry Allen had a great year on the JV last year. Expect some big things, but he stepped up and made a nice big-time play right there. And again, number 8, Jose Pelayo, seems to be the jet sweep guy that's coming around. Again, Sebastian Marbaugh, been sacked a few times. Hadn't had the same type of game that he had last week. Here comes Miramonte. Want to know if they're in 4-down territory, even where they're at right now. On the 40 going in, on the Bulldogs 40. Here we go, Marbaugh, the little lefty sling right there, gets it out to number 3, who is a constant receiver, Joe Galindo. And again, like a lot of schools have in high school football, both sides of the ball, Galindo's a good receiver, but he also had 3 sacks on the defensive side of the ball last week. So he kind of does a little bit of both, as a lot of these players do. You'll see Markel Bruley on both sides of the ball, different things. So, again, pretty impressive drive, Miramonte. Not a lot of penalties on there, but running the ball hard, doing some tough things. See if they can get the ball into the end zone. 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Marbaugh going under center. And I think that's going to be the third timeout that is going to be used by the Miramonte Lions. Make sure you follow us, as it's indicated on there. All the highlights and replays are on Twitter at KHSD Athletics. Give a shout out to Javier Valdez, Victoria Valencia, the entire crew of the Kern High Network. I believe Vance Palm is calling the other game that is on there. It is Highland is playing tonight, and that should be a great classic game. Let me make sure I have it right for you guys. We have Highland and West High that are playing tonight, and it looks like the score is going back and forth, 14-7 over there. Looks like Highland is up right now. So 2 great games going on tonight. But again, Javier Valdez, Victoria Valencia kind of make the Kern High Network go. Victoria's out there with their camera, making stories, doing great things. Javier Valdez does a lot of the design work. Design KHSD magazine. Harbaugh with the design quarterback keeper, just sprint out to the left. And again, getting back into it just a few yards, but that was a keeper the whole time. Sebastian Marbaugh last week, 5 rushes for 40 yards and a touchdown. He also was 3 for 4, and 2 of his 3 completions were for touchdowns. Again, partial to the lefties. Got to love the lefty quarterbacks out there. Not a whole lot of them, because you have to buy a lefty football. Just kidding, you don't. No lefty footballs, okay? Just want to make sure. But believe it or not, I was an old lefty quarterback. That's why my heart goes out to him. All right. Marbaugh again handing the rock off to number 12, Miguel Lara. I'm going to tell you what, there is a culture been set by Christian Johnson of tough physical running to look at that. And he is committed to this I formation. And when you're in the I formation a lot of the time, it's a lot of man-to-man blocking or sometimes combo blocks that get in there. But in I formation, it's all about establishing your will at the line of scrimmage. And in this day and age of spread, you don't see that a whole lot. You may see that with Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers. But you don't see it a whole lot at the lower levels, so it's nice to see that. See this at the high school level. Going super unbalanced right here as well. And again, handing the rock off and just getting downhill and running it, and it's going to set up 4th and short. But again, Christian Johnson and his Miramonte Lions trying to establish that line of scrimmage. 4th and short. Got to know they're going for it. Again, this is what you tell your defense is, hey, watch the ball. Don't jump off sides. Ball's right in front of you. There could be hard counts right here. There could be a little boot action going outside to kind of get to the edge because everyone's thinking about sucking into the middle of the field. We'll see how they're going to respond. They may get behind big number 78. And they are running right and do a little play action. Wide open right there. But are they going to call him out of bounds? They're actually going to call him inbound. Then it's completed to Joe Galindo, who again has had 2 big receptions on this. Wait, trying to see what they're calling this.
Golden Valley takes over on down.
Oh, they're actually going to call it incomplete. But there is a discussion right here. And I want to see what this discussion goes on here. And it's going to be a first down for the Bulldogs. Some interesting calls that we have on here. But it's going to be first down Golden Valley. And bring up number 78, Rafael Gutierrez. They love running behind big number 78 on Miramonte. Has started every game at right tackle position since he was a freshman. So he is a load, tough, probably fits the mantra and mindset of Christian Johnson. But they do like to run to that right side. Good to have a good right tackle. You're a lefty quarterback. Protect your blind side on there. It's always good to have that. Reliable Markel Bruley with 4:10 left to go in the second quarter. Goes under center. Hands it off to Coronado, who, again, Frank Gore comes to mind. Steady, low center of gravity, does a little jump skip, can navigate, always going forward. That could have been a loss or tackle at the line of scrimmage, but Coronado is able to get 2 yards going forward. And so just that low center of gravity, looking at those things, definitely what makes Coronado extremely valuable for the Golden Valley Bulldogs. Really goes back under center again. Looks like they're creeping the safeties up. Maybe cover 0. Bruley goes, takes another shot, finds his guy Nick Abbott, and he was open. Markel Bruley put a good ball to Abbott, but just wasn't able to squeeze it. But I'm going to tell you what, his footwork this week compared to week 1, he settled down, looking at setting his feet, taking an extra second, delivering a good ball, a good accurate ball right there. Abbott, the sophomore, has made some incredible catches tonight. Should have caused a PI, but it wasn't called on there. Had a touchdown. Couldn't squeeze this one right here. Is going to put it down at 3rd and about 7. Bruley hustles back into the huddle to call his play. Again, trying to find momentum. Both teams looks like it's stalled just a little bit. A little bit of spread. Bruley steps in, delivers a great ball to Santos Castillo. And I got to give credit.
Number 2, Santos Castillo.
Got to give great credit right there to Markel Bruley, who stepped up in the pocket, made a great throw underneath. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we have a different quarterback in Markel Bruley than we had in week 1. He looks more confident, better. That handoff right there to Isaiah Coronado. Getting a little chippy up front, but I think that's how both teams like it, is to get chippy up front. Physical game, because they both like to run the ball like the way they do, so you're going to have a little bit of chippiness. Getting under 2 minutes and 50 seconds in this second quarter. I'm always looking at the time to make sure if times no safeties. Looks like they're kind of doing like a cover 0 look a little bit. Little outside zone stretch play to Coronado to get some yards. Coach Kane's still committed to that run. Not panicking, getting in there. 2nd and 5. A lot of great things happening right now. Kern High Network. You can watch this one of two ways, kernhighnetwork.com, goldenvalley.kernhigh.org. Markel Bruley under center again, about 2 minutes left. Again, the handoff is to Coronado to get that first down, takes him to the middle of the field. A flag comes from the white hat. Going to look like it's going to be a holding call on the O-line. Again, frustrating. Get the first down, and now you got to march that all the way back. It's going to set up a long third down to get on there, especially when you're looking about 2 minutes left to go in the half. Those are momentum killers. So you go from a first down at midfield to now you're looking at third down on the 35. Whole different ball game right here. Wonder what type of play Coach Kane's going to call. So he's got to be those big plays, big shots in the middle of the field. Looks like they're kind of running cover zero type scheme. Maybe they're identifying who they're going to guard. See if they exploit any of those options. But again, simple play to look at, a little dive play. Coronado's still up, but he's still going. But now they're blowing the whistle. They blow him down. The clock is chopping down. It's going to be fourth down. That momentum the Bulldogs had going forward seems to be lost. Overall, tough game for both teams.
Number 2, Sebastian Marbaugh to receive.
And we're getting to about a minute left to go in this half. Coronado, running back and kicker. Knowing that Miramonte doesn't have any timeouts, they're going to take as much time as they can. And if they need to use a timeout, they may. Even get a delay of game, 43 seconds left to go. A lot of delay of game calls made during this game, but it's okay. Physical game. We even have Clay Cunningham here from the Californian, even reading his article and his predictions. He called it as a close game as well. Ron Stapp also called it as a close game, and that's exactly what we're getting. Number 8, still up on his feet. And number 8, that is Pelayo, their kind of do-it-all playmaker. 32 seconds left to go in the first half.
Number 8, Jose Pelayo on the pickup.
I think this game is panning out. All the experts, I believe, just a nice close game between two teams that, I will say this, are trending in the right direction under the leadership of their respective coaches. Christian Johnson has brought a toughness. Coach Kane has brought organization and a toughness and innovation with this style of offense. Both coaches adapt to their players that they have on their team, which is a great thing to have. Miramonte may be trying to get some points as they get away from their eye and get in 2-by-2. And they're going to hand it off. They spread you out to run the ball. Maybe normally don't see this, but remember, they don't have any timeouts. But that was number 12, Miguel Lara, that was getting on there. So there may be a little 2-minute. There may be a little 2-minute that goes on here. Looks like Golden Valley is going to call a timeout. Interesting there. I don't know if Golden Valley realized they saw 3 people go in and 2 people come out. You got to make sure the amount of people you have going into the game, that's the amount coming out, and that's where they kind of get lost with not having, too many players on the field and all that stuff. You don't want to have a penalty given better. So, hey, get organized. There's 11 seconds left. Miramonte hasn't proven they can go deep with the ball yet. So, hey, get organized, get to where you need to go. Don't know the special teams of Miramonte. Don't know if they have a kicker that can bomb it 60-plus yards or 50 yards or whatever it is. But, again, in spring 2021 football, crazy things can happen. So happy if you're watching us tonight. We appreciate all the support. Again, Miramonte and Marbaugh is going in the gun. He's been an eye looking to pass. He's going deep. Almost an interception. 5.5 seconds left to go in the first half. Marbaugh is trying to find some of his targets that he's been thrown to all night, like Joe Galindo, number 3. Golden Valley playing with some depth. You got Nicholas Abbott, Larry Allen, Marquise Burns, Markel Brooks, all sophomores and juniors in the secondary. Basketball players do some big-time things, especially number 7, Markel Brooks. Oh, and it's going to be a keeper by Marbaugh, and I think that's going to take us to halftime. And that is going to be at the half. We have Golden Valley Bulldogs.
Half. Miramonte 0, your Bulldogs 8.
At the half, Golden Valley's up 8-0 in a tightly knit contest. We're going to go silent right now. I'm sick of talking for half, but I'll get back to it. At the half, we have Golden Valley 8, Miramonte 0. We'll be back with the second half on this Kern High Network Game of the Week. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Kern High Network Game of the Week. We're here at Bulldog Stadium. The grass is green. There is a big bulldog in the center. That was the Week 1 decoration to celebrate the reopening of football in Kern County. And now we're going to look at the reopening of athletics. Sitting up here with my man Nick, who helped out on the camera. I got Richard helping out on the camera. He's a student within the Kern High School district that's helping out. I got Clay Cunningham from B Varsity, Bakersfield, California, up here. Interesting talking with him too as well. I got our athletic director's son-in-law up here running the film. Everyone's helping out, doing their part to recognize local sports and recognize these kids helping out. I'll say this, Clay Cunningham brought up an interesting point. Golden Valley starting off the season with 6 shutout quarters defensively, which is definitely big. You can follow B Varsity, Kern High Network. We have Hometown Sports. We have a cavalcade of coverage of local sports in this town. I want to make sure that you guys follow as much as you can. We are going to start the second half here in just about a minute. Live from Golden Valley. It has been a physical first half. Golden Valley and Miramonte definitely want to run the ball. That's kind of what they want to do, establish that line of scrimmage. You have kind of 2 different styles of running the ball, too. Miramonte wants to get an I-pro formation and establish that line of scrimmage and get physical and play tough. I would say that's not a bad way to get going, especially if you have the likes of Abe Casillas, who is the do-everything player for Miramonte, who is the tone setter at tailback. He plays linebacker, and you also have to give hats off to number 78, Rafael Gutierrez. They like to run behind him. He's the right tackle. Started every game since he was a freshman, and he is protecting number 2, Sebastian Marbaugh. So interesting first half. On the Golden Valley side, you have the veer option look where Markel Bruley is a different quarterback than what he was from Week 1. You can tell that he has put in the practice and the effort this week with his teammates in order to clean up the mesh points, the Week 1 jitters. He's setting his feet when he's throwing the ball, doing nice little 3-step, 5-step drops, stepping into the pocket, delivering good strikes. Much better performance this week. The lone score of the game is a 20-yard touchdown pass to sophomore sensation Nicholas Abbott, and that is a name you want to keep in the back of your mind. Definitely physical. He's got a little brother that is on the JV level too as well. Both of them are bright spots in the future of Golden Valley football, but hats off to the defense. It has been kind of defense by committee. Bobby Henzo, Dustin Wilkins, Don Turner, 3 defensive coaches that have kind of helped out. You have Demas Riza, who was a Golden Valley graduate, helping out in the O-line and D-line, and that is where we've seen a lot of people establish that line of scrimmage, especially up front. Some big plays that have been made. But this defense and that secondary, young secondary, I'm telling you, you got 3 juniors and a sophomore in the Golden Valley secondary that have done a great job preventing any big plays from going over the top. So the refs have given that's kind of this 2-minute warning to get going. Got Richard, who's done a great job. He did the second quarter video for us. He's doing a great job helping out. Again, we're excited to have you here. Bring up some exciting scores from around Kern County, the Kern High School District in particular. Highland is up big, 42-14, end of the second quarter. Kind of pulling away from West High School. Independence leads North High 14-0. Richie Bolin, another tough kid from North High School. North High class of 2005. Mr. Wiley was a teacher there when he was a senior. Tough football player, tough basketball player. Goes on to New Mexico State, comes back, and is coaching his alma mater. Liberty Patriots are up 24-7. Basically from 2010 to 2020, Liberty has beaten their rival Centennial every year. Trying to get other things. Rebels are leading 10 over the East High Blades. A lot of good things happening. Shafter 21-0 at the last check. 21-0 over the KB Bronx. I don't know the updated score on that. 28-0, Clay Cunningham. We're all working as a team up here to help make sure everyone knows what's going on. But make sure you tune in, KHSD Athletics. Lots of highlights from not only this game, a lot of highlights from that West High and Highland game. Make sure you tune in. Miramonte is set to receive the kickoff from the second half. Running back Isaiah Coronado is the guy that's going to be kicking off, and set to receive is speedster Jose Pelayo, is our fly guy is what we're going to call him. So here we go. We're starting the third quarter here at Bulldog Stadium. Pelayo takes the ball, and he gets a little bit, and Miramonte has set up and is knocked out of bounds by the kicker, Coronado, but good field position for the Miramonte Lions. And I will tell you, this second week in a row, Miramonte has had a great kick return. And that is one thing that is huge. Field position in the high school level is definitely huge. Kick return's huge. Kickoff is huge, I would say. I'm a fan of punt coverage, making sure that you can stymie an offense and push them back, pin them back. But nonetheless, on the 43-yard line heading in is where Marbaugh is going to go under center, back to his I formation. Again, kind of getting old school. And they're going to start off like they did much of the first half. They are running right. Miguel Lara with the handoff, and ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't noticed, they like to run the ball to the right side behind big number 78, Rafael Gutierrez. He is probably the heart of that O-line, been starting every game since he was a freshman. So it's pretty impressive. Talking with Coach Johnson about his super junior. Made sure he wanted to give his O-line some love and credit going in there. Second down and 9. Again, Marbaugh is going to go under center. This is what Miramonte wants to do. Establish that line of scrimmage, run the rock. And Marbaugh go there, a little play action. Haven't seen a whole lot of this guy's a lot of time, but again, there's those Bulldogs up front waiting for him right there. And we got to give a shout out to number 53, Noah Lara, the junior, with a big play. Maybe a 1-yard gain on that. Good coverage again. Got to give a shout out. Coach Don Turner, class of 78, West High Vikings, Valley champions. Been coaching DBs a long time. Likes a Frontier, BHS, you name it. Coach Turner really knows how to coach DBs and make sure that they're in the right coverage and they know what they're doing. Here we go. Third down. Going into the gun this time is Marbaugh. Sets back, the lefty gets on there. Again, throws behind, but overall pretty good coverage from the Bulldogs. So we're about 4th and 8. Curious to see what Coach Johnson is going to do right now. Back-to-back passing attempts. Come up short. Coach Johnson, I may be a little uncomfortable, not 100%, don't know him a whole lot, but maybe uncomfortable with running, with having to pass the ball. Wants to establish the line of scrimmage. We'll see what he does here. Instead of pinning them deep. Looks like Marbaugh is going to go into the gun. We got safeties over the top to add some extra help. Marbaugh is being flushed out there. He's going to use his athleticism, and that he does. There goes Marbaugh, who has a big time rush right here.
Number 2, Sebastian Marbaugh.
Sebastian Marbaugh with a big time run for the Miramonte Lions and gives them a first down. Big play to open up. Sebastian Marbaugh now going back under center in the I formation. And again, they are running to that right side. Number 15, Damian Cruz this time. Looks like he gets a handoff. Gets a few yards.
Number 12, Miguel Laura on the pickup.
I think they've made no qualms about it. Trying to identify number 78, Rafael Gutierrez. They're going to run behind him. Again, as the graphic indicates, highlights and replays are on Twitter at KHSD Athletics. Make sure you capture some of those. So here we go, second down, about 6. Sebastian Marbaugh under center, what Miramonte really wants to do. And the ball is on the ground. They didn't call anything, and it looks like it's going to be Golden Valley's ball. The ball is out. No one has called it down yet. It looks like it could be Golden Valley's ball. And the way Golden Valley's celebrating right now. Again, we've noticed some lengthy discussions that have taken place with some of these officials, trying to figure out whose ball it is. Appears to be Laundry on the field. Richard with the great shot shows that flag in between the officials. Trying to figure out what that is. Again, lengthy discussion. I understand you want to get the call right. Let's see what the officials call right here. Offsetting penalties.
Pair of offsetting penalties.
So it looks like there was illegal motion and there was a hit to the head. It's going to offset the penalties. May put it back down at second down. Appreciate the fans that have made it out here tonight. Staying socially distanced. Nice to see families sitting together. I formation, Marbaugh going back under center. Going to try a redo right here. Marbaugh does a little play action. Had pressure on him right here too as well. Trying to find his man. Diving in for the end zone. Don't know what they're going to call.
Flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play. And Marbaugh connected with this guy, number 3. That's Joe Galindo. But again, there's more discussion. So the flag is waved off. We're trying to see what the official call was. We don't know if it's a touchdown yet. Trying to wait and see what the official call is on here. So if we look at it, so it appears that it is a touchdown from Marbaugh. Sebastian Marbaugh connects with number 3, Joe Galindo, for the Lions touchdown. and they tie the game 8-8 with 8:15 left in the third quarter.
It's Miramonte for the extra point, 2-point conversion.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm running both production and all this, so posting to Twitter, updating the score, putting it on there, 2-point conversion on there, 8-8, third quarter, 8:15 left to go. Make sure you see our replay of a nice lefty strike, partial to the lefties as I indicated, Sebastian Marbaugh to Joe Galindo, his favorite target today. 8-8, physical game. Good game. And I'm going to beat Mr. Cunningham to it. There goes Golden Valley streak. I think next time I'm just not going to say anything about a streak, because when you do, this is what ends up happening. So we have Golden Valley gives up its first touchdown of the year, week 2, third quarter, 8-8. See how Golden Valley responds. Interesting calls, to say the least. Sorry for the extra fuzz on the mic. Getting used to wearing a mask, drinking water, doing all of that at the same time. But we're getting it figured out. Last time we saw a little bit of a pooch kick by number 6, Nathan Perez. Looks like they're lining up to do the same thing. And there comes that pooch. And it's going to be Ralph Gonzalez, the catcher on the baseball team, also a wide receiver. Going to get some yards, takes it back to about the 38-yard line.
Number 1, Ralph Gonzalez on the return.
Again, want to give our shout-outs to Valley Strong Credit Union, big partner with the Kern High School District, C-Tech program, banking, all of that. They've helped out. Motor City, longtime sponsor and partner as well. Bruley, under center, in the veer again. There goes Anthony Puentes, a little bit offside, big number 99. Anthony Romero looks like he jumped a little early. Going to tack on. Stay ahead of the chains is what they always say. Stay ahead of the chain. So it's going to be 1st and 5. Kind of opens up your playbook a little bit more. See what Coach Kane does if he sticks with the prescribed play. Give a shout out to Richard. He's doing a great job on the camera. And there goes Bruley. Going to keep it, actually. And he's fighting for that yard. The ball is out. I don't know what they're calling. The ball is out. But again, here comes the officials. They're going to discuss, and they're going to go from there, and they don't know who they're giving it to. They may have blown it dead. Again, there is laundry on the field, an extended discussion, again, by the officials. They want to get the plays right. I understand that. Taking the time to navigate, go through, see what they're going to call on here. Again, taking the time to make sure they get the call right. Face mask on the defense is being called before the fumble, so it's going to be a first down. Bulldogs retain possession of the ball. And a momentum change. You go from potentially having a turnover to losing 15 yards. So Bruley sending Larry Allen in motion again. They're going to get reset. In their championship years, BHS, under the tutelage of Coach Gola, would run this similar veer with this motion on here. Handing the ball straight up the middle to Isaiah Coronado, only getting maybe a yard. I will say Miramonte has started to identify those dive plays in there and doing a great job of playing some of that sound football. So we got 2nd and 9. Bruley going back under center. And a sweep. And a nice tackle in the open field. That is number 50, Elias Martinez, who is able to take down number 20, Curtis Johnson of the Bulldogs for a very, very marginal gain. See how the Bulldogs respond right here in this tightly contested game that I think everyone in town kind of had very similar approaches. This could go one of two ways. Very, very similar schools in the fact that they're ascending and going in the right direction. Relatively new coaches, Coach Johnson of Miramonte, Coach Kane of Golden Valley. Going a little extra unbalanced, handing underneath to Coronado on a short gain. It looks like it's going to be 4-down territory, going to be 4th and 5. We're going to see what they're going to do. But both teams want to establish that line of scrimmage. Both on the offensive line and on the defensive line. Coach Kane's calling the play out. You can see everyone is wristbanded up. This new era of not just the quarterback having a wristband, but everyone having a wristband, so they're all on the same page. Looks like it's about 4th and 5, 4th and 4. And here comes Bruley delivering a ball right here, and it winds up incomplete. Not a whole lot of options open. Thrown on 4th down. Turnover on downs. It's going to be Miramonte. Is going to take over on downs. Big play for the Lions with 5 minutes, 24 seconds left to go in the first half. Another great game going on in the Kern High Network. Eight to 8. What a game. We have a lot of people all over. I'm going to say this, all over the country that are watching this game. I know some coaches in Missouri, friends of Coach Kane that are watching this game, seeing this live stream broadcast. I know people are on vacation watching this game, so shout out wherever you are during spring break, tuning in. Marbaugh under center. Quarterback keep the whole time, kind of a reverse speed option where he goes out there, but Marbaugh was keeping the entire time. Coach Johnson, primary offensive coordinator, meeting with Marbaugh right now. Makes a call. Coach Kane thinking about his next plays when the Bulldogs get the ball back. Definitely a back and forth physical game. 2nd and about 12. Marbaugh under center. That shift gets out there. 2-by-2, 1 back, delay of game. Well, one thing defensive coordinators, there's a few things defensive coordinators don't like. They don't like motions, they don't like shifts, they don't like unbalanced. And we've seen a lot of that here, a lot of motions, a lot of shifts, a lot of unbalanced, because it forces young athletes to communicate about where they need to go and line up. Talks about what coverage they need to hop into. So especially when you start to shift out of things, your communication has to be on point. Nonetheless, Miramonte is pushed back with the delay of game. Coming out directly into 2-by-2 with 1 back to the left. Marbaugh. The ball is snapped back. Marbaugh is trying to get it. He doesn't have it, but Marbaugh eventually is able to secure the ball. But after a lengthy, almost a 20-yard difference of a fumble, and that is going to push Miramonte all the way back to the 12-yard line. Something that Coach Johnson, your biggest nightmare when you're in the gun, and that is the one thing Coach Johnson doesn't want to get into, is getting into the gun. For reasons like that, nonetheless, he's got to be able to get back, see what type of play he's going to run right now. It looks like Marbaugh is going back under center, doesn't want to take any chances. Going under I. Hey, get some of that yardage back. Get 5 yards back. Not a bad call, especially when the momentum and especially when the angst is up there that the Bulldogs can see the end zone. So, good call to get some of that yardage back. Make it more manageable to punt. Make it more manageable for some of the things to happen on there. It's just good for Coach Johnson making a smart call to get some yardage back. Marbaugh again under center. Whole lot of Bulldogs and a big-time play by the Bulldogs defense. A gang tackle, gang sack that you get on there. Bulldogs with the big third down play to ensure that Miramonte isn't going anywhere. And the punt goes off. Ball is away. They're yelling, Peter, get away from it. And it looks like it's going to be dead center. At the 49-yard line, we're going to call it there. Bulldogs are going to take over. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Golden Valley, Miramonte. Two teams that are undefeated coming into this matchup, coming off the highs of a Week 1 victory. Make sure, as the banner indicates, highlights, replays are on Twitter, KHSD Athletics. Make sure you hop on there. Here we go. Different formation. Still have one back in the backfield and one wing, but Markel Bruley, three-step drop, delivers a great ball to Santos Castillo. Tell you what, Markel Bruley probably did a few things this last week. Watched the film, saw that his feet maybe weren't set, ready to deliver. Went back to practice working on his three-step drop, setting his feet before he's throwing. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Markel Bruley is establishing himself as a premier quarterback in Kern County with some of the things. If he gets his footwork right and his toughness, steps in the pocket, he's got a lively arm, and that was a great ball. Just wasn't caught by his receiver, Santos. But Santos is clutch as a receiver. Here we goes Bruley on the little bit of the option. Ball is on the carpet, and it's going to be 3rd and 9. He's able to retrieve it, getting those mesh points, making sure your timing's right. That's the type of stuff that you have to do way after practice with your teammates. Put in the extra time, make sure it is precise. But here we are, Week 2 matchup, exciting. And here we go. Markel Bruley comes up to the line of scrimmage, about 3rd and 9. Double wing. Going to be a 5-step drop. Trying to find some openings. Markel Bruley, little razzle-dazzle. Gets about maybe 2 or 3 yards, and this is decision time right here for Coach Kane. Does he punt, pin him deep? Does he go for it? Got about a minute left to go in the third quarter in this exciting game. Frames of thought to look at. Hearing the punt being called by Coach Kane leads me to believe that this is the opportunity to pin Miramonte deep and prove that they can run or move the ball whole length of the field. Always things to look at as a coach when you have just a few games left. A short season. There's trick plays there again. I think this is one thing I think both coaches are going to go back to look at is who's going to be the guy that is going to be looking at the back judge so we don't have these delay of game penalties being called as frequently as they have been called tonight. Coronado back with the punt, end over end. Beautiful punt, gets the Golden Valley Bulldog bounce all the way to the 11-yard line, and that is exactly an excellent play right there. And I would just say this for all high school athletics and people that may not appreciate the punt, to get a punt at the 11-yard line, you got to make the other team go 89, and punt coverage is so huge. So what a huge play by the running back, and we have 22 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Under the Friday night lights on a Thursday, because of Good Friday tomorrow. We're on spring break, football in April. Never I thought I would say that unless I was announcing an XFL or Canadian football game. But here we go, Marbaugh going under center. And going to do a quick dive play to number 12. That is Miguel Lara. And I think they're going to let this clock run to the end of the third quarter. Going to be 2nd and 11 as the sides are going to flip. And you're going to hear the siren go off in just a second here at Bulldog Stadium. And that indicates that it is the end of the third quarter, where Miramonte, on an impressive pass from Sebastian Marbaugh to Joe Galindo, has tied this up 8-8 in this low-scoring affair. For Golden Valley, this is nothing new, being these low-scoring, tough, gritty, run-the-ball tight games. For Miramonte, coming off of putting up 41 points against Kern Valley last week, this is new territory for them, at least speaking in spring football 2021. But this isn't a good, tough game. No, we all want to see a lot of touchdowns, but sometimes best football games is when the struggle happens, see who's going to prevail at the end. So end of third quarter here at Bulldog Stadium on the confines of Golden Valley High School. It is 8-8. Again, give a shout out to the administrators on each campus, Principal Paul Hellman, Principal Roman Aguilar. Give a shout out to the athletic directors who've done so much in such a little amount of time to get sports back on campuses. Jose Valenzuela at Miramonte, Robert Haskell at Golden Valley High School, and just all the people that make things work, from the security guards to the custodians to you name it, clock operators, PA announcers that make football happen. We are so fortunate that we have football here in the spring. 2nd and 11, Marbaugh back in the gun, 2x2, one back in the backfield. Ali bringing pressure and brings him down. Isaiah Ali with a big-time tackle on Marbaugh to open up the fourth quarter. Big-time play by Isaiah Ali. And here we go. Make sure you go to KHSD Athletics for all these highlights. Third down, nice strike, but it is dropped. That's a number 8, Jose Pelayo. Couldn't quite squeeze it. It appears that there is more laundry that is on the field. 3rd and 10. Drop. Let's see who this one is on. Personal foul on the Bulldogs, negates the drop, and is going to give a first down for the Miramonte Lions. Penalties absolutely have to drive Coach Kane crazy, especially in moments like that where they had a chance to get the ball back. More than likely going to be a punt. Allows Marbaugh and this Lions offense to have more life. Marbaugh gets on there, hands the ball off. Haven't heard a whole lot from number 20, Abe Casillas. But Abe Casillas Still running the ball tough. Appears to be an injury right now. If we go to Coach Kane down here, he's going to be meeting with his team in the defense. In high school games, you try to stay away from the injuries and focus on the huddles and those other things. I want to make sure we honor those that are on there, but Golden Valley's defense kind of has to be a little frustrated right now. They had an opportunity to get the ball back, but a personal foul negated that. 10 minutes, 51 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter of this great game between the Bulldogs of Golden Valley High School and the Lions of Miramonte High School. Teams that are just a few miles apart from each other. A lot of these kids know each other. So definitely great. Good amount of fans that are out here tonight, socially distanced, wearing masks. Great to see. One of these days we will get back to normal. Let me make a correction on that. Trying to get a number over there. It looks like it's number 15. Damian Cruz was the one that was actually running the ball. He's going to get some more medical attention. So here we go, second down. Clock is running. Second down. Marbaugh in the gun. Going to fake it. Design quarterback run all the way. But a whole slew of Bulldogs stop him just short of the first down.
Number 2, Sebastian Marbaugh.
Looks like it's going to be placed at the 33.5-ish. Though he's tough to see. Even on the camera to take a look at it. Third down and about 2 yards to go. High formation, Marbaugh under center. Going to fake, keeping all the way, but the Bulldogs are there for the big stop, and it is decision time right now for Coach Christian Johnson as he's faced with a 4th and 2 or 4th and 3. And he's got the ball on that 33-yard line. And this is a tough call. You want to preach toughness to look at that, but you also want to preach smart football, field position football. And you have number 9, Anthony Gomez, appears to be back to punt for Miramonte. But again, in some of these shortened seasons, sometimes you want to pay attention to some trickeration. But we won't see it here. And a beautiful punt. I'm going to tell you, for Anthony Gomez of Miramonte and for Isaiah Coronado of Golden Valley, 2 good punts. Not the big booming ones that are out there, but you get in over it and you hit it the right way and it bounces for a while. We've had a punt that got down to the 11, and now this one goes to the 18. Those are great plays in a football game, especially one that's going back and forth the way this one is. As it appears, both teams have kind of made the necessary adjustments at the half, and they got to start figuring things out of how they are going to make the final adjustment. And as we get towards the end of this game, Coach Kane is going back to his double wing. 2 receivers split out. Markel Bruley, again, playing a great game tonight. Delivers a strike, a sliding catch is what it looks like. And again, officials are uncertain if it was caught or not. And honestly, from this vantage point, it looked like it was a catch. But they are going to call it incomplete. Again, don't know who had the best vantage point as an official on the field. The eyes in the sky never lie, and I think everyone up here thought it was a catch. But, hey, when you don't have the best vantage point on the field, it's tough to make that. We can only see it from up here. 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Bruley going back. And he delivers a ball to Abbott. And again, it looked like there was PI. No play was being made. That's number 12, Miguel Lara. But the laundry ends up on the field. And it appears, it was thrown last time, but it appears there's pass interference. But we've seen this show before, so we're going to wait till that guy in the white hat makes the final call. And he does. And I just got word in my ear that I can say that that was pass interference because the white hat said it was. So it's going to be a 1st down for the Bulldogs as Robert Castro, the PA announcer for Golden Valley, makes that resounding call at Golden Valley High School. 8:44 left to go in this 4th quarter. Everyone's checking their wristband, line of scrimmage adjustment. A little bit of motion. Bruley's been passing the whole time. Oh, almost picked off by number 8, Pelayo, who is, we've dubbed him the fly guy because he is running a lot of those jet sweep and fly motion, and he's the punt returner and kick returner. Almost had that, probably coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't. Interesting approach from Coach Kane that we haven't seen 3 straight pass plays. I will say this, Markel Bruley has had a pretty good game throwing the ball, setting his feet, except for this last throw, maybe a little bit forced. But here we go, Bruley again on a 4th straight pass play, going to try and dump it out. A penalty marker is thrown from the back judge. And we'll wait to see what that call is. You don't know if it's pass interference. But we're going to wait to see. It looks like it's going to go against the Bulldogs. Could be a holding. Oh, actually going to flip it around. It's going to be a defensive holding on Miramonte, which is going to result in an automatic 1st down. What a tough, exciting game this is turning out to become. I will say this, I think we can all agree that this is an evenly matched game. 2 teams, very similar styles, approaches, and a 5th straight pass. Bruley looking around, scanning the field, but number 3, Joe Galindo, with the big-time play.
Number 3, Joe Galindo on the stop.
Joe Galindo, if you remember, had 3 sacks last week, and he hops in here and gets another one. This has turned into a really, really solid game. About 2nd and 18. 2nd and 17 is what this scoreboard is calling it. Coach Kane's made no qualms about it. He is passing the ball, coming out into trips, getting stuff figured out where guys need to go. Forced to call a timeout. You make sure guys are lined up in the right spot, right position. Nonetheless, you don't want to lose 5 more yards. Coach Kane flipping the script and what he's done all game, throwing the ball a little bit, see what he can do in the air. Great game here at Bulldogs Stadium. Again, check out all the highlights and replays on Twitter. A number of sacks defensively tonight. You want to take a look at those. Also want to take a look at the 2 touchdown passes. One by Markel Bruley to Nicholas Abbott. Second one is Sebastian Marbaugh to Joe Galindo of Miramonte. And they have tied the game up 8-8. See how these teams are going to respond. Hard-nosed, tough game. I think both coaches want it this way. Bruley back, trying to find some space. Leads his man up there. Oh, most had a long adjusted play to Santos Castillo. But the ball just lands short. And it's 3rd down and 17. For the Golden Valley Bulldogs. Exciting game, 4th quarter. Got Richard on the camera. Nick helped out earlier, but now it's all Richard. Markel Bruley gets back, draws back. Oh, and he gets hit, and it is going to be another flag comes out. It appeared there was going to be a double move by Nicholas Abbott, kind of a slant and go concept. And after he slanted and tried to go, he was laid out by number 12, Miguel Lara. Let's see what this results in. So we have pass interference. Pass interference. The ref signaled 1st down. But again, in this game, I've learned just to wait. 15-yard penalty is going to result in 3rd and 5, or 3rd and about, we can call it 4. 3rd and 4. And a little toss sweep right here to Santos Castillo. Tries to go in and out. And is trying to get that 1st down, but there is laundry all over the field. Wait till see what the official word is. Appears to be a false start. Going to push him back 5 yards. So starting to see some penalties rack up a little bit. Inconsistent play. So now it's going to move the Bulldogs back a little bit. It's going to be 3rd and 9. Going to be 3rd down. There we go, 3rd and 9. I'll give it to the officials. They've had a lot of conversations because they want to get the call right. So here comes Golden Valley coming out in their multiple wing set. Again, Bruley coming back, delivers. Had a man open on that slant. Ball was just off. He had him right there. Markel Bruley wishes he had that one back. We're getting to 7 minutes and 9 seconds. I would say it's getting a little chilly, but I've seen parts across the nation where it's been like 30 degrees, so I don't know if we have much to say if this is cold or not. Saw Miguel Cabrera hit a home run in the snow today for the Detroit Tigers. But nonetheless, we're back here at Golden Valley. Isaiah Coronado to punt the ball. End over end, old school, goes out of bounds about the 25-26. Hey, if you can make it work, makes a difference. And Miramonte's got to go 75 yards. 7 minutes and 2 seconds left. Who is going to win this tightly contested matchup? Two teams that are trying to move their respective programs in the right direction. Coach Christian Johnson He's trying to move Miramonte into a winning program. Coach James Kane is trying to bring Golden Valley back to its winning ways. Former offensive coordinator of the East High Blades. Coach Kane been around the game a long time. Coach Johnson, a protege of Dennis Manning at Ridgeview High School when they were winning. Marbaugh with the keep, but is quickly just shut down, and that is number 22.
Marbaugh on the keep.
Actually, it's going to be number 28, Angel Arias, with a big-time play, 2-yard loss. Six minutes, 20 seconds, counting. Two teams evenly matched. Not a lot of offense in the second half. Marbaugh in the gun. Looks like it's going to be a false start on Miramonte. Pushing back 5 more yards. I think the tail of this fourth quarter in particular. Penalties that are keeping the offense behind the chains, behind the line of scrimmage. Marbaugh back in the gun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. A flag is thrown. Marbaugh is trying to get out of it. Trying to make something out of nothing. Have a feeling this may be coming backwards. The white hat did throw it. It's going to be an illegal shift. Going to push it back 5 more yards. Great game, 5 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. Both teams trying to run the ball. Christian Johnson calls a timeout for Miramonte. So the white hat is giving the official illegal shift on Miramonte. Coach Johnson not happy with that call. From his timeout, letting the official know how he feels about that. But a fourth quarter marred by penalties. Kind of slowing momentum down for both sides, both teams. Time where we can thank Valley Strong Credit Union for all the work that they do to help support local athletics, especially the Kern High School District. Thank Motor City. Always a major sponsor. Got to give a shout out to Javier Valdez, Victoria Valencia, Stan Green, and the whole Office of School Support Services for all the work they do to make sure that we have a platform where we can live stream and spotlight athletes. Marbaugh goes under center in the I formation. Nice little toss sweep to Lara. Ali trying to make plays. Golden Valley swarming on there. And it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 23 is what the scoreboard is calling it. 5 minutes, 25 seconds and counting left to go in this game. Last week about the 3:43 mark, 3:50 mark. Markel Bruley connected with Santos Castillo for the lone touchdown to put him up ahead. Is Golden Valley going to be known as the cardiac kids that come back at the right time and lead their school to victory? We shall see. Coming back in a trips formation. Ball is on the carpet, and just like that, they're blowing it dead. But from the get-go, Marbaugh and the exchange between him and his center on the snap was bad, and it's going to be 4th and really long. And it's going to be on about the 7-yard line. And it's going to force Miramonte to go into the punting situation. And it sets up a nice field position for Golden Valley to make some noise. We'll see what happens. Last time we saw Anthony Gomez deliver a nice punt. And the ball uncertain right there by sophomore Nicholas Abbott. Uncertain, touches it, gets out of there, and a big play, momentum-changing play for Miramonte as they hop on the fumble right there. What a play just when they thought they had it. A muffed punt turns into Miramonte having the ball back and maybe a little bit of momentum going their way. 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. And they're going to go back to a little bit of run. Quickly stop. Jose Pelayo getting the ball quickly stopped by the Golden Valley Bulldogs defense. And like that, we're now under the 4-minute mark. What a game this has turned out to be. Golden Valley lining up defensively. Pelayo, Sebastian Marbaugh under center again. Keep the whole time Aries misses him. And here comes Markel Brooks pushing him out of bounds. Knocks over a table. But I think the table might survive this one. Marbaugh on the pickup sets up 3rd and short. Open field tackling so important, especially in the later phases of the game. But pushed out of bounds with 3 minutes and 22 seconds left to go. In a very exciting matchup between two very, very similar schools. Three minutes, 22 to go. About third, we're going to call it 3rd and 3.5-ish. Marbaugh under center. And again, trying to establish the run, but a beautiful open field tackle by Marquise Burns.
Number 6, Marquise
Pushes
Burns on the stop.
Miguel Lara back. And what an impressive. We just got done talking about the importance of open field tackling in the later phases of the game. And Marquise Burns steps up and makes a nice form-fitting tackle, taking away some of the momentum. Miramonte appears to be in punt formation. And we're going to see what they're going to do. And it looks like it's going to be a fake. And tries to throw over the top. But a huge play by Ricardo Smart with the INT. And we're going to wait to see what they call it. But it looks like it's going to be an interception by Ricardo Smart. Is going to call that. And again, there's discussion going on. But it appears to be a turnover. And there is a flag on the play. Penalties decline. I think they're going to stick with the interception.
First down, Bulldogs.
Ricardo Smart with an athletic play coming out of nowhere. The punter on a fake punt actually had him open, but Ricardo Smart steps up and goes through and with the pick, and he's in bounds. Follow the replay, but Ricardo Smart make sure you go to Twitter, check that play out. Ricardo Smart with an amazing interception, heads up. Markel Bruley almost instantly goes to the ground, loses some yardage. Timeout call by the Bulldogs.
Timeout, Bulldogs.
2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. For those of you that are wondering, yes, there is overtime. So if this game is tied up at the end of regulation, there could be overtime. And we're used to seeing games going to overtime where it's 50-50. Not a whole lot of 8-8 overtime games, but that makes it exciting all the more. And we're just curious to see these adjustments. Who makes the final adjustments to propel their teams to victory? Is it going to be Coach Johnson of Miramonte, or is it going to be Coach Kane? Next week, Golden Valley travels to Kern Valley. I believe Miramonte and Arvin showdown, or Shafter. Markel Bruley drops back. 3-step drop. Delivers over the middle, but Sebastian Marbaugh, the quarterback, is also playing safety, is there for the interception. Has the ball at the 35-yard line.
Number 2, Sebastian Marbaugh on the interception. First dog, Lions.
Sebastian Marbaugh is kind of demonstrating his worth athletically. Hats off to Sebastian Marbaugh, playing a great game both sides of the ball. Seems like what one team does, the next team does as well. Interceptions, sacks, you name it. One team does it, the other team does it. So here we go, 2 minutes, 2 seconds left to go. Miramonte takes over at the 34-yard line. Sebastian Marbaugh in the gun. The lefty drops back. Under pressure. Delivers a ball. It is caught by his number 1 target, Joe Galindo. He dives, stays in bounds, so the clock should be running, and it is. Second down, 1:45 and counting. Gain of about 2. Kern High Network Game of the Week. Golden Valley High School, Miramonte High School. Turning out to be pretty exciting. Galindo in the gun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 back to his right, and a receiver to his right as well. Sticking to that, it is actually tipped, and what a nice play on the right side. I believe that was Conroy Hayes, number 5. Headsy play. Conroy Hayes had an amazing game last week against Foothill. May not have had all the stats, but what he did by setting the edge as an outside linebacker and doing his job was one of the differences of why the Bulldogs ended up winning the game. And here we go. Third down. Long decision time, 1 minute and 20. The clock is stopped because of the incompletion. Marbaugh, 2 receivers to his right. He is looking right. Trying to find his chief target. Number 3, Joe Galindo, is met by Ali and a host of Bulldogs. Tries to get rid of the ball. They're going to call it incomplete. Trying to find a receiver. But Sebastian Marbaugh bouncing off of some players. But that ends up being a long incompletion. Now we have 4th down with 1 minute and 6. What an exciting game. This game could go into overtime. Both defenses, you got to give them credit. Both defenses have stepped up and have made this just an exciting game. Doing some of the little things right. Commitment to coverage. Open field tackling. Little things. Defensively to make it work. And the punt goes up. There's Nicholas Abbott right at him. Muffs it again. And that muff is costly for the Bulldogs, as Miramonte is going to take over at the 34-yard line. Tough as a sophomore trying to make plays. Your number 1 job is securing that ball. 58 seconds left to go. Miramonte has the ball on the 34-yard line. Talked about it earlier. What does special teams look like for either one of these teams? Still a little bit of uncertainty. Right now, Golden Valley is thinking, how can we prevent them from getting in the end zone so we can maybe force overtime? Chance to win this game. But what a game, getting down to the angst and anxiety of a high school football game. This is why we're so glad that we can have football, even if it's in spring, on April 1st, 2021. Good times. Interesting, Golden Valley comes back on Tuesday and hosts a baseball game against Frontier. Never would I thought the football broadcast I'd be talking about the upcoming baseball game because the seasons are so vastly different, but this is what 2020-2021 school year looks like. So here we go. Miramonte, Marbaugh, Sebastian Marbaugh played a great game. 52 seconds left to go in the gun. Drops back, feeling a little bit of pressure coming his way. Daniel Martinez makes a big play for Golden Valley. And it's 8-8.
Martinez making stop.
43 seconds left to go. The white hat is coming over. And I think he's saying 45 seconds on the clock. So 45 seconds is on the clock now. Marbaugh, who's played a gritty game. Those lefties like Steve Young are always so gritty. And you see some of that in Marbaugh. Marbaugh drops back. Golden Valley picks it up and delivers a strike to his favorite target, Joe Galindo. It appears to be a yard short of the first down, so the clock is running.
Joe Galindo on the catch.
30 seconds and counting. 25 and counting. Marbaugh taking his time. Does he take a shot in the end zone? And here comes Marbaugh. Throwing it again to his favorite target, Joe Galindo, and he's taken out of bounds with 13 seconds left to go, and the ball on the 19.
Number 3, Joe Galindo.
Miramonte, are they going to take a shot in the end zone and try and win this game? Excitement happening in the air. Kern High Network has had games before that have come down to a Hail Mary in the end zone. And might I say, the last time that we've had kind of a Hail Mary into the end zone, the last second of the game, was by a lefty quarterback, Cade Sakamoto of Highland High School against South High School, 2017. 40-yard bomb at South High School. Exciting game. See what's going to happen here. Another lefty quarterback coming into the clutch. Again, want to give a shout out to Valley Strong Credit Union, Motor City. We have a wide array of support coming to the Kern High School District. Local communities stepping up, recognizing our kids. 13 seconds left to go. You feel the energy. You feel the excitement. Marbaugh going under center. Different than what he's done this whole drive. But he's going under center. Going to hand the ball off. Big play by Ali. The clock is running. Clock is still running. And they called timeout with 1 second left. You're saying to put 2 seconds on the clock. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a big moment for someone rocking the video. But here's a field goal with 2 seconds left. Number 5, Eddie Camarena, or make that number 6, Nathan Perez. It appears there's a timeout. And are they going to get this? There is a timeout. Miramonte's not huddling up. But if we're looking at this right now, 18. So he's kicking it from the 25. This appears to be a 35-yard field goal.
Number 6, Nathan Perez.
Nathan Perez attempting a 35-yard field goal. The bleachers are getting loud. What ends up happening? And the ball's up. And it is no good. We are going into overtime. A missed field goal, 35 yards. And that sends this game into overtime. What an amazing game, just wide left. For all you sports fans that are fans of the movie Ace Ventura, you wonder if the laces were out, Marino. You wonder where they were. And so 35-yard attempt. The snap was good. The hold appeared to be good. And Nathan Perez had good velocity on the kick. But we are going to overtime here at Golden Valley. And we get set up. I believe our overtime rules are going to kind of go with what college said, and they're going to start from the 25-yard line. We are headed to overtime here at Golden Valley High School. What an exciting game. Back and forth. A lot of things happening. Kern High Network Game of the Week has not let us down. Hopefully we have some listeners from the West High, Highland game, and all the other games that are being broadcast out there. Shout out to my man Richard. He's doing a great job on the camera. We got Clay Cunningham here from B Varsity in the Bakersfield, Californian, covering it from a journalistic standpoint. He's excited about games like this. So, fun night, getting a little bit chilly, but we'll get in there. Again, you see the COVID area
Golden Valley wins the
of
toss.
captains. Only one goes to the middle of the field. As Robert Castro, the PA announcer at Golden Valley, indicated, Golden Valley has won the toss. And they are going to take defense first. Shout out to all those people that it's way past your bedtime. Getting in my older age, it's past my bedtime. But this is high school football. This is what it's all about. So here's how overtime's going to work, similar to the college style. We're going to start on the 25. Miramonte is going to get a chance. Miramonte doesn't score. Golden Valley will then get a chance. What an exciting game. Hopefully it's not like the college hockey game that went to 5 overtimes. But nonetheless, I think we're all troopers and we all enjoy this. So here we go. Marbaugh goes under center. And is going to hand it off. And just like that, a big burst right off the left side. And that is Jose Pelayo, the speedster that's normally done the jet sweeps and the fly sweeps. Takes the handoff to the left side. And we've been seeing a lot of runs go to the right side, but going to the left side right there. Whole new ball game right here. We're in overtime right now. Kern High Network Game of the Week. Miramonte Lions 1-0. Golden Valley Bulldogs 1-0. Which team is going to stay unbeaten? First down for the Lions. Marbaugh hands it off. Physical game up front. Richard Saucedo comes, number 15. Very active linebacker, has been active all night. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Here comes Marbaugh under center again, 2nd and 5. Hands off to the speedster again. Makes me wonder.
Number 8, Pelayo.
Just speculating. Haven't seen a lot of Abe Casillas. Wonder if he's on the sideline with an injury or something. But it hasn't been a lot of runs with him in this half. A lot of Pelayo. A lot of number 12, Miguel Lara. Using a wide array of different backs in the backfield, but none of their electric running back, Casillas. Hope he's doing okay. Here comes Marbaugh under center. And again, handing it off to the speedster, Pelayo. If you're used to a bruising style of a running back and then you get a speedster in there, kind of messes with you defensively because like in any sport, football, basketball, baseball, sometimes it's about flow. And if you're used to the flow of one running back and then you get a speedster in there, makes it tough. Why it's always good to have a cavalcade of backs in the backfield if you have the opportunity to have that. Again, exciting game. Getting into overtime. Appears to be a penalty. Trying to figure, they're actually going to get a measurement right here, not a penalty.
First down, Lions.
And here we go. Appears to be on the 5. 1st and 5. The Lions are going to try and punch it in. Marbaugh under center. And Pelayo, who has been their steady option during this first session of overtime, gets next to nothing. And decision time, especially when we get to possibly 4th down, makes you wonder about the nerves of Nathan Perez, if he's able to step up, if he's called upon to get a field goal. But Golden Valley is going to try right now. Use the techniques that are being taught to strip the ball and cause a turnover, especially if we're going to run the ball the way they are. Sometimes you want to grab that wrist and lift that elbow up to kind of squirt the ball out. Other times you want to punch the ball out. That has been a frequent target. You see that sometimes in the NFL or in college, people trying to punch the ball out. If I'm Miramonte, you're preaching ball security to make sure that you are not giving up that ball. No interceptions here. You want to try and take care of the ball. Don't force it. Take complete ball security right now. And you want to come away with points. So the chess match right now being within 4 yards. What an exciting game. There's calm on the campus of Golden Valley as I look behind me, but as I look towards Bulldog Stadium, there's definite excitement and anxiety that's going on. Marbaugh going under center. Pelayo is the I-back and a little play action. And he throws it, skips it, incomplete, but it's okay. No turnover, 3rd and 4. 3rd and goal, however you want to call it. But what a great game right now. The weather is dipping down. A little bit more frigid, but it's okay. We are in overtime right now. The first overtime, Miramonte has the opportunity to try and score. Golden Valley will then have the opportunity. We are in 4-down territory, it looks like. Ooh. It's either false start or offsides. They're going to discuss, but it looks like the right side, the tight end jumped off completely. It's hard for me to imagine that you don't call full start right here. But we'll see how they call it. They are going to call the false start. It's going to move the ball back 5 yards. It's 3rd and 9. One thing I do miss is the rumble of the bleachers, and we've seen it a few different times. You definitely have some people standing up to try to watch this game and see what's going on. JV team that was victorious over Shafter today at Centennial standing up. The ball is on the ground, but Marbaugh keeps his head about him, delivers a strike for the touchdown. And that is right there to the guy, Jose Pelayo, delivers. He catches it perfect right there, but what a great throw, gritty throw from Marbaugh to Pelayo in this first overtime. So Miramonte now is up 14-8. Over GVHS. Bulldogs have the opportunity to score in overtime. Take a look at that Marbaugh pass. What a dart that he threw right there. And the score is actually 15-8 right now. Bulldogs will have the opportunity now to score. But what a strike. What a dart from Marbaugh to Pelayo. It seemed like Pelayo was all Pelayo this last. He was the primary option for Miramonte. What a great strike. See how Golden Valley responds. They get in a little bit of jumbo right now, trying to go right at him. Coronado moving his feet. There is laundry on the field. Always an indicator. Laundry on the field, probably a hold. (15-8). Marbaugh with the strike to Pelayo. They did kick for one. Uncertain about Golden Valley's PAT in their touchdowns this year. They've gone for two every time. assuming that'll be the case. So it could get down to a 2-point conversion if the Bulldogs are able to score a touchdown. But what an exciting Week 2 matchup that we have here between Miramonte Lions and Golden Valley Bulldogs. Just got word from the athletic director at Miramonte. Abraham Casillas has a high ankle sprain. That's why he's been out most of this second half. So we hope that he can heal up and get better. But you got to give credit to Mr. Jose Pelayo. He's been able to step up. First down for the Bulldogs. They get a touchdown right here. Very curious to see what that 2-point conversion play is going to be. Tough physical game here at Bulldog Stadium. But the 3 touchdowns have been passes. Interesting. Bulldogs come out a little unbalanced, a little heavy. They hand it off to Mr. Anthony Puentes, who's one of their speedsters. Second down.
Number 14, Anthony Puentes on the run.
Golden Valley with the opportunity to try and score. Bruley in the gun. A little bit of unbalance to the right side. Bruley gets back, delivers a strike to Abbott, who in the midst of everything in traffic with the clutch catch.
Touchdown,
And the
Bulldogs.
sophomore again, when it matters, with a big time touchdown. Bulldogs get on the board. And what is this going to be, this call? A timeout is called. What a catch by the super sophomore. Bruley to Abbott with the big time. I encourage you guys, KHSD Athletics, I just posted the replay of an exceptional catch, 15-14. Encourage you guys, go on there, take a look at this replay, this dart. I mean, this is all about darts that we've been looking at right here, but Bruley to Abbott with just an absolute laser. And here we go for the potential win of the game. Shift. Bruley in the gun. Bruley takes the ball snap. Bruley picks it up. Throws it over the top. And it is a win. And that is a win. Markel Bruley to Isaiah Ali with the 2-point conversion and the win. What an amazing game. I am tweeting away right now. Complete to Isaiah Ali.
Final score, Miramonte.
And the Bulldogs win
16.
16-15 over Miramonte in overtime. And it is posted on there. Take a look at the touchdown. Put the score on there. And that is final. What an exciting game to look at. I think I've talked more in the last few hours. Richard, if you could pan on the victorious Golden Valley Bulldogs as they're down over there as they win. This was an exciting, exciting game to say the least. I am worn out. I'm excited. The Bulldogs now are 2-0 as they head through the valley to play Kern Valley High School. Miramonte either plays Shafter or Arvin next week. And they go to 1-1. I do got to say this. My heart does go to the Miramonte Lions. They played their hearts out, played with guts. Coach Johnson has turned over a program. Keep your heads up, mighty, mighty Lions. Nothing but respect. But tonight, it's all about those mighty Bulldogs of Golden Valley High School who now go in 2-0 as they head to Kern Valley next week. I encourage everyone, the Bulldogs of GVHS are now 2-0 this season, and an exciting ball fumbles around from Bruley. And they look to play the Kern Valley Broncs next week. This has been Kyle Wiley, the assistant principal at Golden Valley High School. Appreciate Stan Green and his entire office for allowing us to live stream this game. There will be highlights coming out, Golden Valley's platform, all that, wherever you guys watch this. Hope you enjoyed this game. For my man, Richard, you did a great job on there. He's a great young man. Looking forward for a career in video production. For all the administrators and all the people that helped make this thing work tonight, we're so excited about that. Again, in overtime, Golden Valley High School is victorious. Just took one overtime, 16-15 over Miramonte. Stay tuned next week as schools will continue to live stream all these broadcasts live from the Kern Network. Have a great night. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.